Mob of the Dead was released on April 16, 2013 as part of the UPRISING DLC pack for Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Based off Alcatraz Prison in the San Francisco Bay of California, this map brought to life 4 infamous gangsters from the Prohibition era. Michael Finn O'Leary, Albert Weasel Arlington, Salvatore Sal DeLuca, and Billy Handsome to make up the star-studded cast based off real actors in famous movies and television shows. With this cool theme being implemented, it made for an interesting locale that was set to be a fan favorite from its release. This led to it becoming highly competitive for all sides of the zombies community. High rounds, speedruns, and many aspects of contention started to form. In this episode of Inside the Mind of a Speedrunner, we will be taking a look at the 2-player Easter egg speedrun, how it started, who competed, and where it currently sits from where it all began. As part of the zombies community, we let our opinions be heard. Whether it's good, Mob of the Dead is the best map ever made. I don't care what anyone else says. Or it's bad.
AAA title.
If you wanted to earn some extra money for the holiday season, like maybe some V-Bucks for your brother, not Fortnite. A new dance workout video for your mom, or even a new game for your dad, you can with Vindale. Vindale is an easy-to-use website in which you complete short surveys and earn actual money, and it gets sent directly to your PayPal. While you're watching YouTube videos, waiting to start up your next match of zombies, or even watching Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer, there's always surveys to voice your opinion. Click the link at the top of the description to start today. I want to give a big thank you to Vindale for sponsoring episode number 1 of Inside the Mind of a Speedrunner, but without further ado, let's get right into the video. Mob of the Dead speedruns have been infamous for being incredibly quick to get done. Its short, however fun Easter egg introduces you to the Golden Gate Bridge, the Plane of Al's own design, and most importantly, the Afterlife system. The Afterlife system is used many times in the Easter egg, not only to unlock certain areas, but also to power the map and get you to the Golden Gate Bridge at the end of the Easter egg. The Warden's Key, an item that can be picked up very easily, also allows players to open up small parts of the map and do small tasks that otherwise would not be possible. This key is acquired by jumping into an Afterlife portal and shocking a generator. It can be located in front of the Warden's office or above the showers beside the entrance to the cafeteria. What initially interested you in Mob of the Dead?
Mob of the Dead, it's special on its own way. Yeah, I do like Mob of the Dead. It's a simple Easter egg comparing to other Easter eggs in a way.
Well, I wasn't very interested in Black Ops 2 Zombies at that time because Transit and Die Rise didn't help the fact at all. I didn't really like those maps. Thought they were pretty bad when they came out. I was used to Black Ops 1, Moon, and the original maps. And when I saw the trailer for Mob, I was instantly hooked because Ray Liotta is one of my favorite actors. He's the main reason I got interested, and the whole Alcatraz idea at the time was an amazing theme for the map.
So when first beginning Mob, I loved the theme of the map, like the prison cell being in Alcatraz, all of that. And the other thing that I loved was when I first got Mob of the Dead, I was not good at zombies at all, so it was a short, easy Easter egg where a beginner at the time could do it and feel satisfied when they completed it.
Mob of the Dead's Easter egg called Pop Goes the Weasel starts off fairly simple, with you having to feed 3 dogs found around the map. These 3 dogs can be found in the cell block after leaving the library side of the spawn room. The second dog can be found in the infirmary right below the roof, and the last dog can be found by the docks directly outside the generator room. This allows the player to then pick up the tomahawk called the Hell's Retriever, a rechargeable lethal weapon which is great for clearing zombies out of your way. The Hell's Retriever is found in the Citadel tunnels, which is right past the showers. There is a buildable plane called Icarus, which transports players towards the Golden Gate Bridge until the plane crashes, causing the player to fall toward the pavement. The plane has 5 parts to it, which all require a small quest to be done in order to pick them up. The easiest part to collect is the valves, which is located in the infirmary to the right of the dog head. This part can be acquired by using the warden's key to open the door that it was locked behind. The next part can be acquired is the uniform. This part is found in the showers underneath the cafeteria. This part is required by opening the gate that locks the washing machine and then shocking the electricity box opposite of the washer. This will then power the washer, which you hold square, X, or F on. This will then initiate a trial where you have to fight off enemies until the washer turns off. The washer will then reveal the part. The next part is in the warden's office, which is the engine, locked behind an electrified gate. This part can only be collected once 3 generators have been shocked. These generators are found in the generator room right by the docks. These generators can be turned off by going into afterlife mode and shocking the front panel of each. This will then release the electric shield on the barrier and will allow the part to be obtained by the player. The next part is on the spiral staircase, which is the riggings. This part is revealed by typing in a specific 3-digit number into the number panel, which is found on 3 half walls before the bottom of the staircase. Once this is typed in, the player will then have 60 seconds to run underneath the staircase and pick up the part in the elevator, which has been lowered down. The final part is the tanks found on the docks. This part is obtained by opening the door with the key and shocking the electricity box, which will then open the door and make the part collectible. Once all parts are collected, you must build the plane on the ramp located on the roof right above the infirmary. While the Easter egg is being completed, the player must collect a total of 5 blue skulls located around the map by throwing the Hell's Retriever where they are located. The first skull is located right outside the library inside of a toilet. The next skull is located at the roof all the way in the back left, and you must throw the tomahawk at the corner of the building. The next location is down at the docks, and you throw it at one of the posts holding up the docking area. The next skull is located at the top of a light post located right near the Juggernog perk machine. This skull is the hardest to obtain, but you can go all the way in the corner and jump and throw the tomahawk at the same time while aiming at the light, and you should collect it. The last and final blue skull is located at the warden's office. You need to aim the tomahawk at the top of the telephone pole outside of the window next to the speed cola machine. Once all 5 skulls are collected, a free Blundergat will appear on the table inside of the speed cola room. The next step is getting the spoon, but first you have to fly to the Golden Gate Bridge once. The spoon is acquired by throwing the tomahawk at the Escape from the Tomb movie poster 3 cells from the entrance of the warden's office. The afterlife symbol will then appear through the hole created by the tomahawk hitting the poster. You now need to go into afterlife and shock a spoon that can be found on the ground behind where the hole was created. Then you need to throw the tomahawk at the spoon that has now been revealed in the window behind the cafeteria. After this, you must refuel the plane 2 more times. You can refuel it by collecting gas cans located by where all the original parts were found. Once this is done, you are almost done the Easter egg. You then need to go back down to the number panel where you got the plane piece and type 4 specific numbers into the panel. These numbers correspond to the cell numbers of each character. These numbers are 101, 386, 481, and 872. Once this is done, your screen will turn black and white and an audio tour will now commence, taking you through the prison. The headset power-ups can be found on the staircase above the spiral staircase, in the room past double tap on the catwalk on the way to the cafeteria, right at the entrance of the infirmary, and right at the entrance of the roof. Once these are collected, the plane will then show up next round. You now need to go into Afterlife and hold the action button on the plane. Once this is done, you will be on the plane in Afterlife mode. You will then need to revive yourself on the Golden Gate Bridge and fight the other player. Once the weasel is dead or all the other players are dead, the cycle will either be continued or broken. This is the end of the Easter egg. What is your favorite step of the Easter egg?
If I had to pick one, it would be flying the plane and going to the bridge. You know, you get the pack-a-punch, the electric chairs, very good scenery. good spot to train. Not very many steps in the Easter egg. It's pretty much just fly the plane and go to the bridge.
So the only step where I feel like I'm doing something out of the ordinary, which I wouldn't do in a normal game anyway, is the headphone step, which I'm gonna have to say is my favorite part. Just due to the fact that you get a giant insight as to what you're doing in the map, and it makes you feel like the entire Easter egg has purpose.
I think my favorite step of the Easter egg, it's getting the tomahawk itself, you know, to do the dogs and everything, because I think that's the more challenge part. Easy in a way. The hard part is just surviving, because it's a very close map. And yeah, so regarding surviving, the best challenge with surviving skills will be maybe to do the dog. Of course, we did the dogs pretty early into the game, right? So it's not a big challenge, but yeah, the surviving parts and maybe getting the tomahawk, I think that's the more interesting part of the Easter egg, you know.
The first serious attempt of the 2-player Easter egg speedrun was done by T-Negrao and the Ulti Gamers on May 8, 2016. This run did things wrong on today's standards, but was essential to form the strategy used today. This run introduced only one player going to the bridge at a time, which saves a lot of time, and also introduced ending the round right before the player gets on the electric chair at the Golden Gate Bridge. This would in total save a ton of time off the previous attempted times. This run also introduced one player jumping over the gate at the docks to avoid needing 2 players to open the gate and get the part at the docks. This would save around 3 minutes off of the run and was a huge step forward for speedruns of the map. In this run, they ended up getting a time of 30 minutes and 2 seconds, which was a really fast pace. After the first record was completed, Evasive Player and ZV Hustler came along, who ended up improving on the current strategy. They were able to get a faster first plane time and ended up getting approximately 1 minute faster overall with a time of 29:10. The next record was set by GregFPS and Starburst, who ended up optimizing the mid-plane flight more than it ever was before. This run set the stage of being semi-efficient, with Afterlife going to the docks after the end of each round no matter what. The major flaw in this run was the crossing both of the players did. Although one player was at the docks and shocked that open, they grabbed the spiral staircase piece, which ended up losing them the most time. There was still a lot of work to be done to make the run get to where it is now, but it set the stepping stones for things like shocking both the generators and the docks part open in one Afterlife. However, the most significant time save, which was their optimization of the showers, which they reset if the key did not spawn in the cafeteria side. This would be checked by looking through a small window and a door in spawn. They would get one player to shock the key while the other person picked it up. The person in Afterlife would then shock open the door to the showers and have the other person open the door to the washing machine. The person in Afterlife would then shock the machine, revive themselves, and go turn it on. An improved version of this strategy is still used and is essential to all the speedruns on this map to this day. They ended up getting a time of 27:32, making the run approximately 1.5 minutes faster. However, T-Negrao and the Ulti Gamers came back and took the record again by a time of 26:38, with further optimization of the current strat. For a while, the record was back and forth between the new contender Lunatic and GregFPS versus T-Negrao and the Ulti's Gamers, with small optimizations being made, but no great breakthroughs. This was until Lunatic and GregFPS set the boundaries for the speedrun to this day. They created the ultimate strategy, which was to improve on the washing machine time and complete the way each player ran and what each player had to do. The major optimizations were the person who was outside of the Afterlife on round 3 while the washing machine was being shocked would open the door, wait for it to be shocked, wait for the person in Afterlife to be upstairs and out of the cage, and then turn on the washing machine. They would then run straight to where Brutus spawns on the right side of the showers and kill him almost immediately. They wouldn't pick up Shower's piece, but would, however, build their way down to the spiral staircase and kill themselves at the bottom of the staircase with a grenade, and then type in the number because they would spawn at the top of the staircase. They would then grab the part, run up to the roof, place it, and feed the dog up there. The other person would go to the first dog and feed it, and then take down the gondola once that dog was finished. He would shock the generators and the gate part as well and feed the dog down there. They would finish feeding the dog, grab the dog's piece, go back up and build the plane from there. This opened the gate for sub 8-minute plane 1 times and allowed the speedrun to progress very quickly from 26-minute runs to just about 23 minutes. However, Lunatic and the Ultis gamers would soon resign, Lunatic due to personal reasons and the Ulti gamer just dropping off the face of the earth. GregFPS would then pick up a newcomer to the Mob of the Dead speedrunning scene, codenamed Spaghetti, better known as Spag, and Tina Grau would pick up Smidjewel, better known as Smid. From here, the record got further optimized. On round 1, zombies were all killed using grenades. This was especially helpful for the window next to the M14 wall buy due to the zombies not appearing quickly and taking a long time to get to the window. This shot down the time around 10 seconds, which was the difference between runs after a certain point. GregFPS also figured out a major time save, which is him to grab all the parts while the player is at the docks, and while the other person is flying, the last dog is fed. This saved time due to them getting faster plane times, which are the most major time loss in the run. These optimizations, as well as both teams going hard, led to the extremely fast progression of the speedrun. Times included 22:29, 21:58, 21:52, which wasn't uploaded, 21:46, and the current record of 21:13. The 21:13 is an incredibly fast time, with the first plane being a time of 7 minutes and 14 seconds. This is the main area where time can still be improved in the run. About 20 seconds can be saved here, and through generic movement around 10 seconds can be saved throughout the rest of the run. The best possible time with the current strategy is around 20 minutes and 40 seconds, but this would take hours to get. Both teams have had many attempts to beat this record, but none were successful due to the sheer amount of RNG that goes into the run, such as drops on round 3, cafeteria having key, and most importantly the players having the skill to not go down without the help from a shield or juggernaut, along with the 2-hit system and the tight corridors that are all around Mob of the Dead. It is now time for some more questioning for Tina Grau, Lunatic, and Spag. What was the most excited you've ever been for getting a record on Mob of the Dead 2-player?
My most excited I've ever been is for my 21:13 run, and the only reason for that is because that was the only run I did where I truly believed not many people would be able to beat it.
To be completely honest, getting those old mob records repeatedly was probably the most excited that I've been for a while, for much of anything for quite a while. So to answer your question, the most hype during the entire thing, pretty much. I was super hyped every time we got one of the records, and I still remember your voice completely breaking and cracking all over the place when we got one of the records. It was the most hilarious thing ever.
So in a way, it's good. You beat the record, so you beat your personal time also. Not just the other team. But yeah, it's always on the back of your mind saying, oh, I should have done better. If I didn't die in there, I'm pretty sure I could have taken another 20 seconds or so. So yeah, all the records, I'm always happy when I beat a record. So it's always a good team effort.
What do you think you contributed to the speedrun?
In my case, I don't look at it like I contributed anything. Me and you did it, so me and you were a team. I figured, we figured things out together. So, what do I think we contributed? We revamped the old strat with a kind of brand new one, and we did that like 3 times after that. We ended up shaving 4 minutes off the original Easter egg strat that you and Starburst were using. Because when me and you started, it was like 27.5 minutes. Now it's down to like 21. So that's what I feel like we contributed.
As far as I can think of, the only things major things I did to help save time were the grenades on round 1, which have evolved throughout the strat. And I was also there when Greg needed someone to speedrun with due to Luna leaving. So I feel like I was there when the speedrun needed it.
Yes, like new strategies, it goes both ways. It's not just myself or my team, but even other teams that persons finding new strategies, which then other people implement, and then they might even tweak a little bit and make it even better. And then the other team, there's the same strategy, and they might find, oh, okay, I might change this again in here, and yeah, it keeps going back and forwards. If you are competing with other teams, but in a way, all the teams are working together without realizing, and they're making a perfect strategy.
Did you enjoy speedrunning Mob of the Dead 2 player?
Yes, yeah. So speedrunning Mob of the Dead, 2 players and 3 and 4 players. It's quite fun, especially with the 2 players, because 2 players you need to do a lot more comparing with more players. So the challenge is a bit harder, let's say that way. So you got to do more stuff. You need to, regarding surviving, it's a bit more difficult because more zombies will go to you. They're not so spread out if you got more players in the map. So it does make the challenge a bit harder, if you want to say that word. So yeah, it's a good challenge. The map itself and the challenge for Easter egg. So quite happy with it.
Absolutely. Until I had to do it all day, every day for the longest period of time, and then it drove me insane, and I had to take a break for a while. Like, I could go back and speedrun it again, and it'd be fun for a little while, but I think, like, the thing for me with speedrunning is if I do the same thing, but one thing over and over and over again, it just kills it for me.
I did enjoy it, especially during the beginning, because I ended up learning something I didn't know how to do before. It's an experience where I got to learn what I'm doing, and it always gets frustrating. Like, if I die, if my teammate dies, whatever, it's always frustrating, but you're always trying to maintain calm and just make sure that your team always has the coordination to keep going.
Do you plan on speedrunning Mob of the Dead 2 player again?
Yes, just not 2 player, but just like I say, all maps, all 2 players, 3 players, 4 players. We always want to improve those times. So we will always try and improve on the strategies. Yeah, but we just need not just to have a good strategy, but also to have the right skills to implement the strategy. So yeah, we're always willing to improve in everything, such as to player Mob of the Dead. But yeah, it's just implementing the strategy.
So I personally believe the time already is really good. However, I think a sub 21 is possible, which is what I'm going to be going for as soon as I possibly can.
Over the past few years, the speedrun community in Call of Duty Zombies has grown tremendously. More and more records are beaten on a daily basis as more and more teams battle for the #1 spot. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you're new, and comment down below what speedrun you would like to see next in this series. I would like to thank my friend Spag, who helped with the research and production of this series. His channel is linked in the description down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, have an amazing day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.